South Africa. It's like America, but half the price. Let's talk about it. Now, today I decided to do an amazing cost of living video for South Africa. And the reason I decided to do this was because I know a lot of people, when they're leaving America or maybe a country in Europe, they're thinking to themselves, I don't exactly want to maybe live in a country that, still needs to develop. I want a country that's already pretty much developed and a country that maybe I can do stable business in, or a country where, I can have the amenities that I'm used to. And so I said, where else better than South Africa? Now, you guys know me, I've been all around the world, but I mainly have been to a lot of countries in the continent of Africa, and South Africa was one for the books. Let's start off with the flights and visas, okay? We're gonna talk about cost of living for South Africa. Let's talk about the flights and visas first. Now, flight from New York to Johannesburg, that's gonna run you about $800. When it comes to London to Cape Town, that's gonna run you about $600. What I do personally is I do use email alerts, and I do have a app that scans the different flights, that maybe are getting canceled, or maybe people are, looking to sell tickets quick, and I say, okay, boom, I want that one. But typically I do business class just because my legs are a bit longer than the average. So that person, Timmy, in the front seat of me doing like this all trip, nah, that's not gonna work. I need to stretch my legs. So I do business class sometimes, and that might run you a little bit extra, right? It might be double the price or even maybe 3 times the price. But if you can get a good deal, you might just get it for double, right? So that's what I'm always looking out for. So yeah, definitely check out the flight apps. Now, when it comes to the visa situation in South Africa, if you're an American, visa free. Congratulations, right? I mean, don't you just love it when you can just go to a country and just knock it off your bucket list, have them stamp your passport and just get it done with? I will say this, if you are going to travel to South Africa, you do need to have a few pages left inside of your passport. Very important. So yeah, there we go. We have the flights and then we have the visas. So we check that out. Next, we have accommodation and transport. I know a lot of people probably watching.
When are you going to talk about the ladies? I want to hear about how much it costs to date the ladies and how much we going to
talk about all that. Just relax. We got you. It's cool. We going to get into it. But let's talk about everything else before we get there, though, because I got a lot to say about the ladies, and it's juicy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's juicy. Them ladies in South Africa, I get the urgency. I understand. They are some of the finest women on this planet. I just gotta say it. Damn it. They are the finest. Sometimes they got a little attitude too. And I say to myself, you know what? If I look this fine, I'd probably have an attitude too, damn it. Anyways, so we about to talk about accommodations and transport. Now, typically for a Uber, if you're going to do an hour ride, or 45 minutes to about an hour, that's going to run you about 30 USD. When we're talking about money inside of this video in South African Rand, which is the conversion, that's the currency they use, South African Rand or ZAR. We're going to be talking in USD, okay? So I don't want any confusion. It's 30 USD for about an hour ride inside of South Africa on an Uber. If you guys want it cheaper, go on Bolt. You guys can get even half the price. And I believe they have an app as well called InDriver, where you as the passenger are able to bid, and you can text out how much you're willing to pay, and then other drivers will say, hey, I'm willing to take that price, and they'll take you for that amount. So that's a little cheat code. See, over here we give hacks. Now, TripAdvisor, I did some research. TripAdvisor listed most Airbnbs and hotels to be around $60. From what I've seen, that was pretty much the standard. Whether you're in Durban, whether you're in Cape Town, whether you're in Johannesburg, that was around how much it is. There are apartments and hotels that are more expensive, but if you want an apartment with a decent view, or a hotel, that's just a name brand hotel, yeah, you're gonna pay about 60, and on the highest end, I could say about 200. If you guys see some of my previous videos, inside of some of those apartments I was staying in, it was about $200 a night. And I know some people probably wondering, what's up with all these ladies in your videos, man? I had a podcast, I was doing a podcast over there. You guys can check those videos out on the Patreon, link in the description, because we had the apartments, we had those apartments up and jumping, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Good conversations with the lovely ladies. I just had to do it. I had to do it and get that info for y'all. So that's why we got the ladies in the apartments. But yeah, it was a great time. Did a lot of vlogging, did a lot of videos with the ladies there. So yeah, those apartments you guys saw me at, those are gonna run you about maybe $200 a night, because those were on the higher end, and you know, biggest apartments inside of, you know, Johannesburg, etc. So that's what was going on. Now let's talk about the fun part: food, excursions, and dating, right? Okay, here we go. Like the video because we about to get into it, y'all. I know this is a lot of people's favorite part. It would be mine too if I didn't go already. So anyways, basic groceries. That's gonna run you guys about $100 a month. If you guys go to a place like Checkers. Now, the amazing thing about Checkers grocery store, and this is unlike any other grocery store I've been to around the world, they have a huge buffet. Like, I mean, it's so big. I've been to Whole Foods. I've been to a lot of grocery stores that have pre-made food and all that stuff. Checkers got a whole buffet. Like, I'm talking, it's the biggest spread I've seen ever. I said, oh my God, I'm about to be eating like a demon. I'm about to be going crazy. So Checkers was amazing when it comes to having good, affordable food and having, you know, pre-made food. I was so busy over there working online, having the ladies around. I didn't even have time to really cook my food and stuff. So Checkers came in handy. Shout out to some of the South African ladies too. They cooked for me. I had a grill on my top floor, and a lot of ladies, they would like to barbecue for me and stuff like that. So that was fun. You know, I showed them a little American seasons. They would show me how they do it and spice it up in South Africa. So we had a good time doing that. Now, fast food, that's gonna run you guys about $5 USD. They do have a McDonald's for the people that are big boned, coming from America or from wherever, even in Europe. They got the McDonald's over there, the Mickey D's. So if you guys need that Big Mac quarter pounder, they got it. And I think their meat over there is real meat, Paul. So we're just gonna say that. Now, Woolworths is the Whole Foods of South Africa. Now, that's where you're gonna get some really authentic organic food. And they even have their own pre-ready, pre-made meals as well. Now, fine dining. If you want to take a girl out, that's going to run you about $40. That's for a nice steakhouse, and it comes with a side. For a solo person, $20, give or take. A glass of wine, about $4 per person, depending on what type of wine you're choosing, right? Henny, 750 milliliter bottle, that's going to run you about $50. I don't drink like that, so I'm just getting this information for you guys because I know that you guys might need to sip on that Henny, okay? Now, dating South African women, right? Guys, it was a mixed bag, man. There was South African women that I felt like really wanted to date, and there was South African women I said, I think she just hit yeah. I think she just whiny. I think that's what it was looking like to me. So, South Africa women, I feel like they're very similar to American women. They kind of want that, like, you know, luxury kind of dating experience, but you'll run into a lot of ladies too that's really not like that, you know, and they still look good. I feel like in America, some of the ladies, you know, they might not look the part, but they still want to go to the nicest restaurants and do all this luxurious stuff and spend money on me. But in South Africa, you'll have a few ladies that look good, and they're still humble, and they'll say, no, just take me to a regular cafe, wherever, you know, we can chill on your top floor in the lobby area in the game room, because this is the hack, okay? And this is something I would typically say for my Patreon supporters, link in the description on some real game. But when you go into these countries, get an apartment that has a game room, has a theater, and not inside of your apartment, right? You don't want to just bring any woman to your room, you know, you want to meet with her in the lobby first, and then if the apartment, the whole entire complex, they have a movie room, take her to the movie room. Take her to, you know, maybe the game room in your apartment, and you guys can hang out there. You know, she'll feel way more comfortable with you there. And then if you're trying to do whatever after, you know, you're still in your apartment complex. That's all I'm gonna say, though. That's all I'm gonna say. That's for y'all. Little key, little jewel for y'all, okay? So yeah, South African women very like American women, but, you know, they actually be looking the part. You know, shout out to the American women. We got some good American looking females too, but golly, South Africa's a special place. Guys, do not get caught up. You know, Plan B over there only like $2, you know, but that don't mean that you need to just be out here doing some dumb stuff just because you know, hey, they got it going on over there. So we'll leave it to that. A lot of the women, I'll say like this, from what I've seen, this isn't all South African women, but from what I've seen, a lot of them willing to skip the date if you just gonna give her the money for the restaurant. She don't even, we don't really even go on a date. You said you was gonna spend how much? I was gonna spend 1,000 Rand on the date. Oh, nah, brother, give that to me. I'll take that. We can just go to your place real quick and watch a movie there. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you're going to get any special privileges or favors when she go to your place. I'm just saying that's what a lot of the ladies I seen, that's kind of how they would be moving. Even ladies would tell me about their own homegirls in South Africa. They're like, my homegirl, man, she don't even take none of these dudes here. All she want to do is just be out getting the money and stuff. You know, us ladies, we have upkeep. That's what they was telling me a lot. We have upkeep. We have nails, hair, lashes, this and that, and necklaces and bags and all this stuff we need. You know, I like a soft life. I'm a soft girl. You know, this is the stuff I was hearing. So, you know, shoot, boom, that's what's up with South African ladies. You are gonna run into some that want to do the actual date, but a lot of the chicks, from what I was seeing, they was down to just give me the money. Just take the money. You know what I'm saying? This is just from experiences that I've heard from other dudes and stuff, and just from what the ladies told me. So, you know, boom. Not all ladies are like this, though, y'all. Don't just expect a lady just to, oh, she'll just take the money. So, no. Any woman, you just kind of treat her the same as you would any woman. Hey, beautiful, you know, get to know her. Let's, okay, go to the restaurant, blah, blah, blah. Let's go here on this day, whoopty whoop. I already gave y'all the cheat sheet, but there's more on that on the Patreon. So, anyways. A date is still valued in a lot of Western countries, but you know, we can see it phasing out. Okay, we can see it phasing out, definitely. Cold approach is the best way you're going to meet these ladies too, by the way, but that's also talked about on the Patreon as well, so we'll leave it at that. Number 4, amenities. Now, a big tip when you're in South Africa, if you're looking for like random necessities and you're just like, oh damn, I forgot to bring a effing razor because I gotta look good. You know, for the ladies, they want to look pretty, and she got a landing strip down there. I forgot a razor. Damn it. Takealot is your go-to, right? For the dudes, you might be thinking, oh shoot, oh my God, man, I forgot to, you know, bring a tie for my suit. Oh my God, I'm about to look crazy and weird and all this stuff like that. Takealot is your go-to. Now, what is Takealot? Takealot is just like Amazon. It's basically their version of Amazon. And Takealot, you can get anything you need, and they even have same-day shipping. This is not a sponsorship, but they really got it going on over there. So South Africa, dope, just dope, right? Coffee is gonna run you about $5. Random items that you'll get on Takealot, you know, notebook, chargers, etc., about $5. You know, everything's about $5 in South Africa, from what I was seeing. You know, for little small necessities, $5. Quick trip to the hospital, $50 if you guys need a quick checkup, and that's on a high end too. South Africans, the cool thing about being a South African citizen, I believe they have. It's not free healthcare, but they do have lower cost healthcare, which is really important, man. Even some countries, they even suggest the lower cost because the free healthcare takes a while. There's a waiting list process, all this stuff. So that's just something I heard from a lot of the people there. Safety, you know, for cost of living, because I got to throw these in here because I could just tell you guys, go to South Africa, look at how much you can pay for this and this. But the safety part is very important too, because if you're taking a night walk and somebody pop up on you and rob you for your jewelry, now you're going to be down some money, right? So your cost of living, now you're going to be down a cell phone. You got to buy a new cell phone. So your cost of living has been affected. So I got to give you this too. Safety, Western Cape, most beautiful and safest inside of all South Africa, at least from my experience. Sandton, Johannesburg, I stayed there a lot. Also Rosebank, very safe neighborhood. I'm happy I wrote this down. Mpumalanga, near Durban, another safe area that I had my South African homie, he actually just told me that. So guys, that's the cost of living for South Africa. We talked about flights, we talked about accommodation, we talked about transportation, we talked about dating, and of course the food. What else can you want? Like, comment, subscribe, and give me you guys thoughts on the video. Was I right? Was I accurate? Let me know. All right, we gone. Till next time, Patreon link in the description. Holla!